Much respect to Dion Point, Nike, and Concepts on the entire pack they released for March of 2022 for Air Max month and to celebrate Air Max Day. Mellow, heavy, far out. You guys know they are very coveted pairs right now, and they're relatively decently priced still on the secondary market. So, $400 to spend. Did I finally pick up the heavy, or did I go for another pair? A pair that deserves a lot of respect, like the Air Max 1 Amsterdam.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take it.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video on Talks with TJ. So $400 to spend. Did it go towards the Amsterdam Air Max 1? That pair, you guys know, I have London. And it's one of my favorite pickups. I have London. I actually picked this up on govt. This was a treat to myself. So did I go for Amsterdam? If you follow me on Twitter at _ talks with TJ, I've spoken that Air Max 1s have kind of moved up in priority on my reach back list. So the Amsterdam ones, heavy, wanting the anniversary pair for the red and white colorway. Well, we've come to that point again. It's a little late in me posting, but for March, that $400 that was available, unfortunately, the Amsterdam was not added to my collection. Instead, a principal payment was made. That's right, to Uncle Sam for my student loans. Now, actually, let's talk about student loan debt because the forbearance period is set to end effective the end of April, and May 1st, student loan payments would kick back in. Have you even checked on yours lately? Ask, have you checked on yours? Because if you've been following me, you know that pretty much once forbearance kicked in with everything going on in the country for the past 2 years, I just made the deliberate choice to be disciplined and make payments towards the principal of my loans. Now, was that always fun? Absolutely not. You can watch the playlist here on YouTube for student payments versus, or student loan payments versus like paying resale for sneakers. It's really just sharing my journey with you guys, especially young adults, if you happen to have student loan debt too, that just because you're able to do certain things with income you have at your disposal, are you willing to make the more difficult choice in current day to put yourself in a position to be free of student loan debt? Because no matter what, like, the pairs are always available. Yes, you may have to pay a little bit more, maybe a little bit less in the future, but no matter what, those sneakers are available. We have a number of different avenues to pay for these pairs and add them to the collection, but freeing yourself of student debt, that's something that you should absolutely gift to yourself. Now, my thoughts on student loan debt: it is predatory lending at its finest. It is terrible. It is heinous. And I say that as someone who actually packaged student loans before, working for a college institution, literally the one I graduated from. So yeah, I would do things differently, but I also understand if I didn't have student loan debt, I could not make these types of videos, and it would be, hey, what would you know about it because you're not dealing with student loan debt? Well, guess what? I am dealing with student loan debt. So as we're nearing May 1st, please be sure you're checking in with your student loan account, whoever your service provider may be, and your provider may have switched. That happened to me. My provider switched. I got the notice in the mail. So I set up my account, put all my information in, and I can see where my student loans stand right now. So if we look at the start of 2020 and we look at right now, my student loan debt, the balance has actually been cut in half because I consistently paid on those loans. Now, if I were to only continue to make minimum payments right now of what they will require me to make, which, fun fact, it's actually 80% less than the minimum payment I would have had 2020 not occurred, it would still take me until 2025 to pay all of that debt off. I have zero intention, okay, of letting Uncle Sam hang around my life for that long outside of taxes, and that's just because I would like to not go to jail due to tax evasion. I have zero plans to keep him on the payroll that long. You gotta go. Like, there's so much that you continue to hinder in my life, whether it's travel, continuing to treat myself, splurge and do some nice things for moms or my friends' kids. I'm trying to be the rich auntie that is there to keep them fly, keep them fresh. I fully intend to embrace that title. So gotta get Uncle Sam out of here, but also being able to see you know, having the willpower to pay down that debt during that time, it's amazing to see where the balance was, and again, where it is right now, what my minimum payment would have been and what it is right now. Like, it's 80% less. So what are my intentions? To continue to pay more every single month, no matter what, whether those payments kick back in, whether we have an extension of forbearance. Either way, I need to be my own savior. I cannot rely on Uncle Jojo. I cannot rely on Congress to work together. I just don't trust that bipartisanship is really going to happen. I don't trust that they're just going to forgive the student loan debt. If they do, then fine. I'm not one of those bitter people that I had to pay back all of my debt, so you should have to pay back all. No, you know what? If I had to suffer and there is a way that we can, fix the system going forward, like not put people in a position where they are starting so far behind the 8 ball in terms of building a stable life for themselves, by all means, can we do that? Because if you forgive those student loans and that influx of cash is back into the economy, listen, commerce continues to grow. People are able to do things they want to do, put their kids in activities and have them experience different things, maybe be able to afford those homes that they're trying to with a very crazy housing market right now. There's just a lot that comes into play. If you're trying to help other family members or people in need, if you don't have to pay Uncle Sam back, you may be in a better position to help those that you love and care about. I always kind of keep that in the back of my mind. And I know everyone is not in the position to be able to say, hey, I can pay an extra $400, $500, $900 in a student loan every single month over the past 2 years. You may not. No matter what, your livelihood is what you have to, prioritize. So not student loan debt. So if you were in a position where your income during this time, it wavered at any point, it was unstable, you were uncertain of what would happen month to month, keep a roof over your head, food on your table, and the ability to continue to get to whatever job you have that earns you the ability to take care of yourself, and then worry about student loan debt. Now, that's not to say don't make a plan to free yourself from it. If you can audit your spending, because a budget is just a spending plan. Audit your budget, take a look at what you're spending on what. Are there sensible areas where you can cut back, still enjoy life a little bit, and then have a plan to attack that student loan debt. Again, I am so close to paying off one of my student loans. So the way they're broken up, you can literally see each individual loan, subsidized, unsubsidized, what was this interest rate, what was that interest rate, and now I can see like the minimum payments of what they would be. No joke, for 2 of these loans, it's $1 for 37 months. $1 for 37 months. Like, that's the minimum payment they're sticking me with for it. I'm sorry, we're not dragging this out, right? Like, I'm 32 years old. 32 is the magic year. I'm trying to make magic happen by freeing myself from the student debt before we're done with the year. No Amsterdam, no Air Max 1, but you know what? That's not to say it still can't happen this year. Later on, if I'm part of a campaign or a paid contracted job creatively, which I love doing those, maybe I'll treat myself to, that shoe later on in the year. No matter what, though, the goal is to tackle the student loan debt. Thank you guys for tuning in to this journey that I'm on. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Be sure you're up on your student loans. Peace.